So guys, today we're going from this to this. So it's been a while. I've been busy riding the bike. And it's a beast, I can tell you that. Overall, pretty happy. So the season is over and the bike is back in the garage. So the last thing I did, unfortunately I didn't do a video about it, is to install the thumb brake. So much power out of the corners, so I think I needed to just get the front wheel down on the ground, exiting the corners to the straights. And it's a good way of tightening the turns, so you can drag it or press it. And the configuration I have is getting pretty busy in here with all the stuff. Unfortunately, I haven't found a solution to remove this, but there's a brake line going, as you can see, all the way down to this little guy. So I still have my foot brake on, so I can use both of them. So that line is coming in here, and this line is going up to the ABS, and then from the ABS it will go down to the rear caliper. And I tried this the last track day for the year, and it gave me a hell of a headache. The bike was jerking as soon as I touched the apex, start opening up the throttle, the bike will jerk. So I had power, no power, power, no power. And then when the bike was 100% straight, it will just lag, wouldn't give me any power for a couple of seconds, and then full power. And I knew there could be some problems, because if you go to Alpha Racing's homepage and try to get the thumb brake from them, you can read that you should not have the ABS installed. So although I'm pleased with the ABS, it's got race ABS and a lot of things could be set by the ABS, I'm basically going to remove it just to get the thumb brake working. And it's a weight save. Normally I wouldn't remove the ABS. I've never had an issue with the ABS. I guess I'm not braking hard enough. So this is where we're going. So before removing the ABS and replacing it with the part from Alpha Racing, I have ordered it, so it's on its way. You need to drain the fluid, the brake fluid. And this I recommend that you do anyway after season end. So you replace your brake fluid so you have fresh brake fluid. And that's pretty simple. Depending on your reservoir, you just open it up. If you have possibility, just suck it out with a suction device. That's the best way. Make sure you suck out the fluid in the calipers as well, rear and front. I'll get that started and get back to you. So this is the setup for sucking out the fluid from the reservoir. Either you can suck it out straight there or through the pump. Most important thing is to get rid of the top of the reservoir, otherwise you will just suck the packing inside down and it won't help. So make sure the lid is off, and then there is a compressor device. It's too loud, so I will not start it while you're listening. And then just open the valve here and make sure that all the fluid is out. So guys, there are two screws like this, TX25. They're going underneath here, straight up, and they are keeping the whole unit in place. You can see the head of the right one there and it was a pain in the butt to get to them, but it was doable. There's another one. You can see the hole there, right where my finger is, where the screw was attached. So remove them. The next thing before we do anything else is remove either the plus or the minus side of the battery, because you don't want to accidentally shock this electrical unit. So we remove the plus side here, or the minus side, or both of them if you feel more comfortable. I'll do that and get back to you. So guys, next step is to remove the brake lines from the calipers. Still some oil in there, and you do that with a wrench number 12. Just open these babies up. I've already done that. I'm just going to show you how they are located. So you have a copper washer underneath this panel and one on top. Let's just remove them, let them hang loose. So guys, the front caliper is completely loose. I just removed it, and of course, even though I sucked all the fluid out, it will leak a little bit. Be careful with your rim and tire and brake pads and everything that could get wet. You don't want to have any oil on there. Now's a good time to clean these babies. I've been using some center brake pads, and you can see the pistons are dirty as, I don't want to say the rest of it. You can see it clearly here. They are really dirty. So I will remove the brake pads and carefully push out the pistons. Clean them with toothbrush, soap and water, nothing else. And make sure that you get off all the residue that's in here. Your life can depend on these babies, so treat them with care. Repeat the same thing on the other side. Make sure you can back trace and put everything back together. But as you can see, the brake lines are going in, and there's a T-junction there. So to get to that, there's a shield here. You have to remove it with 2 screws. Some people already removed that. I just removed it before this. And then the tricky part will be to get the brake line out from underneath the engine. I have no clue how to do that. And get it out, because it's going all the way back here to the ABS pump. So that's going to be the tricky part. And then in the front, of course, this guy is going in here, and then it goes over from being a wire, or not a wire but line, to some hard metallic tube here. So it's not that easy to bend, I'm guessing. This guy's for the thumb brake that I routed. So probably will be forced to remove the tank as well to get better access. So guys, we're removing the tank, and we need to remove this screw, which is 10 socket. I think it's number 10. Let's see if I can clear that out for you. It is number 10. So you remove this screw completely, and then you have 2 screws on the side, and they are number 13. So 13 socket, then you remove these screws, and then you have a couple of connections underneath to the fuel pump that you need to disconnect. And furthermore, you need to disconnect the hoses up here for the air intake. There are 2 of them, and then you'll be able to remove the tank. So the tank is off. These are the 2 connectors, and there's a lip, so you need to get a flathead screwdriver underneath, push it away, and then pull these guys out. Exactly the same. And then you have the supply line. There's a white piece that you push, and then you gently take this guy out. So let's see what we have here. You can see the lines. These tubes, hard metallic tubes, going on the inside of the frame. So we need to remove this, and I'm gonna take this opportunity to clean up all the dust and other shit that's inside the bike. And we start removing the hose, brake lines. I have loosened them up. I think it was a TX40. And then just remove the hoses. So guys, a fair warning, if you do this and remove the brake lines, I can guarantee you there's no way you're gonna be able to refit them without lifting out the engine. I think I've got 180 pulse and had to work really hard to get this off. And this is the front brake calipers, the T-junction. What I needed to do is to pull everything forward towards the front wheel of the bike, because there's no way this T-junction could pass through that tiny hole. So you have to unclick it. Furthermore, I had to remove this at least to make some room, and then bend, twist, and pull until it comes out. It seems impossible, but I got it out, so probably you guys could get it out as well. But I'm 100% sure I will not be able to refit this. The tube here is bendy. Some flex to it, so you can move it around a little bit, but that's it. So one night out, three more to come, I think. So guys, this is the line for the master cylinder. So it was hell to get it off. So I started off by pulling it out, so it will go underneath here and then hang loose from here. So I had a straight line up underneath here and out here, and then I had to bend the tubes, pull, push, bend, pull, push, and finally I managed to pull it out straight up here. So you have to feed it back through here, so you have the line sticking up there, and then from the ABS pump, feed it, bend it, so it will come out here, and then you will have almost a straight line to get it out here. So this guy weighs about a couple of 100 grams, so that's off, and two more to go. So this was by far the easiest one to remove. It goes from the rear brake pump and up, so no hassle, and there are no tubes here, just brake line, bendy, easy to remove. And the last one is, of course, the one that goes from the ABS all the way back to the rear caliper. So guys, next is removing the unit and the connection. And there is a small latch in there. Just take a flathead screwdriver, push it in, and then you press this part out. And the connector should come off. And the whole ABS unit is out. It's pretty heavy. Let me show you the construction of this connection. So there's a latch that goes up and there's a locking mechanism here, so you should press that down and then release the connection. So here's the unit, and what we need to do is get rid of the metallic part here and keep the electronics in the plastic part. So this unit will go back without this, so we need to cover the junction between the plastic part and the metallic part. And to do that, you need to remove this bracket that is on top of it, like this. So when you remove the bracket, you will get access to 3 screws. And these 3 are Torx 25, so like the rest of the bike. So remove these screws, and I'll do that and get back to you. So this is the 2 units separated. You can see the pump here, which is the heavy part, or you can separate it furthermore. And then the coils and the electronic part. So we need to put the cover that we ordered from Alpha Racing on top of this, and reattach this to the electronic harness on the bike. You will get an ABS failure error anyway if you don't reflash your ECU. So I'm going to show you what came in the kit from Alpha Racing. So this is what you pay for: 3 screws, 2 washers, plastic tube, paper kind of protection, and then metallic protection. So I'm just guessing here because there are no instructions covering this part. So I'm guessing this goes there, and then the washers, of course, the big one on top of this connection, and the small one down there, and then of course the cover on top of everything, and then you tighten it. And this part is for protection of this, so you don't bend it. So I'll put this together and get back to you. So here's the final result. This was a crimping tube, so I heated up a little bit from the distance. Be careful because this is metallic and you get fine electronics in here, so you don't want to overheat it. And the weight of this is nothing compared to the weight of this. This is one billet of metal that weighs a lot. So next we reconnect this to the harness, and we need to rewire the brake lines. And I've ordered brake lines from Alpha Racing. I just need to figure out which line goes where and remount this. Okay guys, since we can't screw this thing back to the frame, I need to arrange so I can have it attached and safe. So I'll take a zip tie and the old holes, you can see, and then the zip tie will go on top of this and hold it in place. Just a tip. So I figured out the brake lines. The short one from the T-junction goes up to the brake pump, and then the longest one goes on to the left side, and this is sitting on the bike left side, not when you're standing in front of it. So you will end up with having this T-junction over here, and then the middle part goes to the right hand side when you're sitting on the bike. And make sure they're not twisted or you don't have any sharp bends. This is as sharp as it should go. I'm a bit worried about this. I think this is too sharp, so I'll see if I can squeeze it somewhere else or route it somewhere else. And make sure that they have clearance, so when the fork is moving, they don't get stuck anywhere and ripped out. And front line is okay, so you have to rebleed and fill in the brake fluid, and then what's left is the rear brake. So guys, I've ordered a new brake line from the local shop here, so I had to measure, get the angles, and so the whole system is now activated. So from the rear pump there's a line going to the rear caliper, and then from the same pump there is a line going all the way up to the thumb brake. So there's the thumb brake. It's a pain in the butt to get the air out of this because to bleed this is complicated. I started by bleeding out there, sucked out some fluid, so when I was sure there was no air there, then I used zip ties to zip tie down the foot peg, and then left it for a couple of hours, knocked on the hose here, brake lines, so the air bubble goes. The problem is, as you can see here, the brake line is higher here than the actual pump. So to get it completely air-free, you need to remove the pump and have it at a higher point, so the air will go up and then bleed it there. But I'm pretty okay with this. So unfortunately, there's 6 to 7 months until the next track day for me, and I'm gonna go radio silent on you guys during the winter break if I don't have any new project that I can share with you. Please do comment if you like the content here or if I'm just wasting my time. Have a nice winter. See you soon.